Hey guys, so I actually have a ton of different sources for these questions. What area, food, energy, or water procurement and use is your city most unsustainable and why? For which of the three areas does the city have the greatest potential to become more sustainable and why? And what strategies could your city implement to become more sustainable within the food, water, energy nexus? So I did some research. For food, I found that there were some community farm projects happening, and I'll link an article about that in my post. But TLDR, they are doing community farming where they're growing their own foods and vegetables, which would be a sustainable way to get your food source. The other thing as well, which I think someone else mentioned, was I found an article from 2019. It was edited in 2021, where the senator of Hamburg for consumer protection wanted to urge the federal government to make it like a law that they would donate food waste, like food that could still be eaten but was being thrown out, to food banks across like Hamburg. Another thing I found was about the sustainability of restaurants in Hamburg and how sustainable they are. So I would say, like, on the food front, they're doing pretty well. I did find, and I think someone else mentioned this, an article about water, but just how they're gonna have to ration hot water because of an energy crisis, because of the where is it? In case of an acute gas shortage, they would have to ration hot water because they cut dependence from Russia on their gas. So that kind of has to do with like water and energy. That is driving, here's another article, energy crisis driving switch to renewables. So that crisis of the invasion of Ukraine and Hamburg, Germany pulling away from Russia in regards to where they receive their energy is driving them to switch to renewables. And I also found an article about how they recycle their water and how they get their water, their black water, which is sewage, and their gray water, that I'll link, which is a really interesting read about how they cycle through it. So I would say that maybe the front that they need to be the most worried about would be their energy, for many reasons, but I think some of the reasons that were really good that were mentioned in other posts were just the time it takes and the money it takes to switch over to these renewable sources. It takes a lot, so it's not something that would just happen overnight, and I know that the pull from Russia is driving them to do this as well, so maybe that would help fuel the fire. But I mean, strategies that they could implement, I found an article where they're gonna turn an old coal plant to produce green hydrogen. So there's a lot of strategies. Switching to wind energy was a really big one for Hamburg, because they're a port city, and they, even in the article about how they recycle their water, it goes on about the water energy nexus and how they recycle this water contributes to producing energy. So I will link all of these below, and love to hear your thoughts.